Hello everyone, it's Stephanie Ponteau. Welcome back to English class. I'm so glad you are here and decided to take the time out to work on your English. Even though we can't meet in person, you are doing the hard work to continue learning through these difficult times that we're in, and I'm so grateful. So please continue watching the videos. Text me any suggestions or ideas that you have for things that you would like me to do differently or to add to the class. And let's get started. All right, this is my handy dandy stick that I have been having fun with. All right, this is Stephanie Ponteau. This is the Vision Church Level 2 class. My contact information. This is the class for Wednesday, May 20th. We're continuing on in Unit 9, and we're going to be doing Lesson E. And in this lesson, we are going to write an email or letter of complaint. And now we've been talking about home problems, right? And so if you are a tenant, which means you are renting your home from someone else, if you have problems with that home, you call the landlord, right? Because they are responsible for making repairs. So, in this exercise, we're going to write an email or letter of complaint. Okay, so let's look back at page 116 real quick. So get your student book out, turn to page 116. Remember this lady, Stella? Yeah, so Stella was preparing to write a letter or email of complaint, right? Yes. And it was going to be Stella leading the way for the tenants in her building, right? Because they had, remember the page on 110, all the problems she had in her kitchen? Let's see, let's look back at 110 real quick. Remember this scene right here, right? Yes, that's Stella in her kitchen with all the problems. Now, what problems worse was she having on page 110? She had a leaking dishwasher, right? She had an overflowing washing machine. She had, I think the light bulb wasn't working. And let's see, I think that was it. The dishwasher, washing machine, and I think that maybe the lock was broken. Okay, so Stella had some problems. She found out the people in her building had problems. So on page 116, she wrote a notice and posted it in her building, telling her other neighbors in the building, hey, come to my house for a meeting. We are going to get these problems fixed. We're going to write a letter of complaint to management, to the building manager, right? So this is Stella, and this is her notice for the other tenants in her building so that they could write an email or letter of complaint, right? All right, so remember, the tenant is the person renting the home or apartment, which would be Stella, and then the landlord is the person who owns the house. Okay, so let's go back to page 118. Okay. So what are some of the problems in Stella's building that she wants to write this email about? And those problems are on page 116 as well in her notice to the tenants. The problems that they're having, let's look at her notice there. First bullet, broken windows. Second bullet, right here, page 116, that notice. Second bullet says tenants on the third floor have no lights in the hall. Third bullet, a leaking ceiling. And the fourth bullet is the smell of garbage all day. Oh my gosh, that is awful to have to smell garbage all day long. So anyway, those are the problems that the people in Stella's building are having, and Stella has had it. She's sick of it, and she wants to do something about it. So Stella would be a great person to have in your building, right? If you lived in an apartment. Because if there's problems, she's going to do something about it. All right, so let's look at exercise 1. It says, lesson E, writing. Number 1, exercise 1, before you write. Now, exercise A, it says we're going to talk in a group, ask and answer questions. Okay, we're going to ask and answer questions. All right, so question number 1. Let's see, let me close the blinds here. It's casting a, yep, that's better. It's casting a really weird shadow there. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, all right. So this is my studio up in the corner of my loft, and there's a window right there. All right, so did you ever have a problem in your apartment? Now, we would be sitting together in a group, and you'd be talking to each other with this exercise. But once again, who is your partner? Me, once again. So, did you ever have a problem in your apartment? We're on page 118. Well, you know, I have not lived in an apartment for since 1986. I have not lived in an apartment since 1986. So I really don't remember. But up until 2 years ago, I was a landlord. The house that we lived in before this house, we rented to some friends. Now, we sold it to them 2 years ago, but I was a landlord. So I'm going to answer these questions as a landlord, okay? Number 1, did you ever have a problem in your apartment? Yes, my tenants, they have had problems in the house that they were renting from us. So they had quite a few problems. Not all at once, but they rented from us for about 5 years before they bought the house. All right, number 2. What was the problem? So I'll just tell you about the last problem. The last problem they had was the dishwasher stopped working and it could not be repaired. So we had to get a new dishwasher and have it installed. Okay? All right, question number 3. Did you tell the landlord about the problem? Yes, they told me about the problem. And because my husband works so much, I usually handled all the repairs at the rental property, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to sell the house. It was just too much work to take care of that house and to take care of our house here too. So, but yes, so they did tell me about the problem. Number 4, did you write a letter or email to the landlord? No, they did not write a letter. They called me. Now, if I didn't do anything about the problem, they might have eventually sent me a letter so that they had proof that they had told me about the problem. Because you know, when you're a tenant, if the landlord doesn't fix the problems, you can write a letter to them and tell them that you're not going to pay your rent until they fix the problems. So you always want to, if your landlord is not responding, put it in writing and get them to respond, okay? All right, so they did not write me a letter because when they called me, I immediately called our home warranty service. Remember I told you about the home warranty? Comes in very handy. So what happened, they came, the home warranty came, they sent the repair person, the dishwasher could not be fixed. They sent me a new dishwasher and I did not have to pay for it because of my home warranty. So that's why I told you those home warranty plans, I love them. Now I forget which video it was that I talked about it, but if you want more information about how to get a home warranty and which is a good company, just text me and I'll tell you about it. So anyway, the home warranty company came and they put in a new dishwasher. All right, so that was exercise A. All right, so let's go on to exercise B. But before we do that, let me read the information in the tip box. There's always good information in these tip boxes right there. Okay, so read along with me. Emails usually have 3 parts. Now this is going to help you write your email. The name of the person it is written to, the subject of the email, and the message. And now this is just a piece of advice. When you're sending an email, always put something in the subject. So that lets the person know what it's about. Because some people, they don't open the email if there's no subject. They just ignore it. So whenever you're sending an email, always put something in the subject, what it's about. All right, so number 3, it says the third thing in the email is the message. Oh, it says what I just said. Some people will not open the email without a subject, so always include your subject. All right, so let's keep going. So we have, we're going to read the letter of complaint that Stella wrote for the people in her building. She just didn't write it for herself. Stella decided she was going to be what you call the spokesperson, which is the person who is speaking for a group. So Stella was the spokesperson for the people in her building. All right, so let's read the letter together. To Derek Betcher. Subject, apartment problems. From Stella Taylor. So you see you got 2, you got the subject, and now let's read the message. I'm a tenant at 3914 5th Street. I am writing to you about the many problems in the apartment building. My neighbors and I made a list of the problems in our building. In our apartments. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read it from memory. My neighbors and I made a list of problems in our apartments. The list of problems is in the attachment. Many things are broken, leaking, clogged, or jammed. And we are very upset. Could you please, you see, she's still being polite. She's making a polite request. Could you please send a repair person to fix these things immediately? Now, what does immediately mean? Does it mean when you get a chance or when you have time? No. Immediately means right away. So, like sometimes when I ask my kids to do something, they think they can do it when they get ready. And I have to go to them and say, no, I want you to do it immediately. And immediately means right now, right away. And the way you pronounce immediately, E, even though it starts with an I, it sounds like an E, immediately. So, E, me, D, it, immediately. E, me, D, it, So let's see. D-E sound. Yeah, not D-I. That's die. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 syllable word immediately. So write this in the back of your notebook so you can practice it. Write the word and the way it's pronounced, the sounds, and what it means. And it means do it right away. Okay. So third paragraph. Let's finish reading this email to the building manager. You can contact me at 713-555-1944 if you have additional questions. You can also come and talk to me. I live in apartment 4B. Thank you for your attention to these apartment problems. Stella Taylor, Chairman, Tenants Committee. Very good, Stella. So Stella is a great neighbor. She'll take care of things. All right, so exercise C says, answer the questions about Stella's letter. All right, so I'm going to erase this. I hope you wrote it down because I'm going to write the sentences on the board. And all of this that we're doing right now, almost fell over, is to help prepare you to write a letter of complaint, okay? All right, so exercise C. All right. Number 1, what is the subject of the email? Just look at the subject line in the email, in the message right here. So there is the subject line right there. It's the second thing. Apartment problems. That's the subject. Okay, so they did that one for us. Number 2, who is the email to? Now we could write this as a complete sentence, but to save time, I'm just going to write the name. Who is the email to? The email is written to Derek Betcher, right? That's the first line of this email, but where it says to. That lets you know who the email is going to. And he's probably the landlord or the apartment manager, building manager, something like that. All right, number 3. What is Stella's title? And that's below her name. When you have a title and you're sending an official letter or email, sometimes you put that title right below your name. And Stella's title is Chairperson, Tenants Committee. So she's the chairperson of the Tenants Committee. So her title is Chairperson, Tenants Committee. And a committee is a group of people that's working towards the same goal, right? It's a group set up usually to solve a problem. All right, number 4. What is in the email attachment? Now, she mentioned that there was an attachment, right? And that is, okay, it's in the second paragraph of the email right there. Let's see, can you see that? Yeah, the second paragraph in the second sentence says the list of problems is in the attachment. So question 4, what is in the email attachment? The list of problems in the apartment. The list of problems in the building is in the attachment. So you could say, that's what you can say if you wanted to answer this as a complete sentence. The list of problems is in the attachment. The list of problems in the building. Okay, and then number 5. In the email, what is a word that means quickly? And that was the word that I had up here on the board a minute ago that I told you to write in your notebook. What was the word? Right, immediately. Quickly and right away means the same thing. When you say do it right away, that means do it quickly, okay? So the answer to number 5 is the word immediately. So that's a good word to know, especially if you have children and you want them to do something. Because sometimes you ask them to do something and they want to wait. So when you say, no, I want you to do it immediately, they know you want them to do it quick and they need to stop what they're doing and get to it. All right, so that is that. Let me make sure we covered everything. Okay, all right, so I think that does it for this lesson. And we should be good and prepared to write our letter or email of complaint in our next class. So thank you for coming to class. Stay safe and healthy, and I will see you in the next class. Take care. Bye-bye. I miss seeing you guys. I hope you're all well. Don't forget, make a comment in YouTube or at least give me a like. But give us some kind of response. If you don't know how to do it, text me and I'll send an explanation, because that's very important that we let CPACs know that you are finding these classes helpful so that we can continue doing it. Okay? All right. Take care. Bye.